Welcome to Bart in the Bath. We're going to pretend that it's still Friday the 13th. I meant to release this episode on Friday the 13th because, as you saw from that gnarly intro, it's the 13th episode of this show. I used some music from Friday the 13th, the game, Mitch Murder, Return to Camp Blood. It was the 8-bit Jason's skin, his music whenever he would come creeping up on you. It was really awesome. I love that music. And that's also why I decided to go with this Jason. He was the 8-bit Funko Pop Jason, and that Nintendo game is probably the most terrifying thing that Jason Voorhees has ever done. Let's just be real. I do love Jason, but I mean, that's even like my pandemic mask was one that Tom Savini and Jason Baker, I believe, had put out, where it was like the half Jason masks, but I went with the blue variant because that game was a nightmare, just like the pandemic. But that's enough about real things. Back to, talking about the things that truly matter in this world. Like food, which I'll get to that here in a moment. And Friday the 13th. It was not always considered to be an unlucky day. Friday the 13th was usually associated with the Norse god Freya, and it was a day of celebration and happiness. But some of the people that were more empowered didn't really like that, so they're like, no, that's an unlucky day. And lucky for us, it spawned an awesome franchise, such as Friday the 13th. God, this was one thing that I was going to do in my spicy episode, and I said that I was like, no, it was too much because with that awful hot sauce, I couldn't really taste anything. So we're back with these spicy strips flavor. Super hot Pringles. They've got an Asian language on them. Yeah, that was absolutely on purpose. That was a big gag. Glad I still had them sealed. Alright, we're just going to do a few at a time. See what this is like. Okay, they're not that super spicy. I'm okay with that. I can actually taste that. We're cool there. Okay, yeah, that was about as, terrifying as a Friday the 13th movie, I guess. I'm saying that for the kids that might be watching, so you can watch a Friday the 13th movie and not be scared, with your parents' permission, of course. I had this whole great plan. Actually, it wasn't even my idea. My best friend Aaron, he gave me this idea to, you can drop the tabs in the water and make the water all red. And you're like, yeah, like bath blood. I forgot to do that. But at least I have my ring light set to a red light, as you can kind of see. So, Camp Blood, Camp Crystal Lake. Same difference. Okay, the heat did kind of settle in on those. The next bit that I guess we're going to get into is my favorite kill from the Friday the 13th series, and that's a really hard one. My wife wrote down notes on my board, and I'm just kind of reading over it for the first time, so let's see. Oh, Part 6, Jason Lives, which also, that's probably my favorite Jason movie. It's hard to really pinpoint a favorite, just like it's hard to pinpoint a favorite kill. But in Part 6, there's a scene where these guys and a girl, I believe, they're out there playing paintball, and Jason is just, lumbering through the woods as he is. Also, probably my favorite Jason. But anyways, so he goes up to one of them, and one of the paintball guys is hacking against some limbs or something with a machete, and Jason accidentally rips his arm off and slams his head into a tree, and it leaves this really cheesy like bloody thing on his smiley face had been carved into a tree. That was when the series had really kind of started, like, we might go off the rails a little bit. We'll see how it feels. Aside from the whole resurrection thing and the guy instantly getting his heart punched out. But yeah, I mean, Friday the 13th, 4, 5, and 6, aka the Jarvis trilogy, those are my favorite 3 out of the entire series. Can't go wrong with them. But yeah, I think that would probably be one of my favorite kills. And I mean, the sleeping bag kill from Kane Hodder, that's classic. But that's kind of like saying the opening to, what was it, a Ghost Ship? Yeah, that opening. I mean, it's the best opening in horror movies. It's kind of hands down. It's hard to beat out that opening. Granted, the rest of that movie, but the opening, haha. On the note of movies, I'm gonna get back next week, I think, or the next episode I'm gonna do. I say next week, but I'm gonna try. I mean, I've said I was gonna do these every Friday, but nah, these are gonna kind of come out whenever I feel like putting them out. Let's just be real. But yeah, I spent some time up in Tromaville. A true honor and pleasure, as always. I, would have loved to have spent more time up there, but Tromaville's all the way up in New York most of the time. Sometimes it's in Tennessee. Lucky me. That's really close for me. But that was worked on the power of positive murder, and so next week's episode, or the next episode that I do, is going to be like a trauma special. Now, for you younger viewers, there's not really much for Trauma for you to watch. They've got Doggy Tales on Trauma now, their streaming service, and there's The Toxic Crusaders. That's about it. Rest of it, you're going to want to be a little bit older before you start getting into that. Man, so speaking of movies, do you know what time it is? It's movie time! I figured the most appropriate movie to review here would be Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. Roy's the man. Like, this is one of those, I'm really glad to start seeing this movie get appreciation, it seems, in the recent years. Much like Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. It doesn't get enough love. And Friday the 13th Part 5, I mean, he's a fake Jason. There's nothing supernatural about him, and he's got a kill count of 17. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty positive I'm right about that. And he's an awesome Jason. And it all kind of goes back to, dude should have just had a Snickers bar. Maybe he wouldn't have taken out Joey the way they took out Joey. Not my Joey. But Roy's Joey. And Roy, I love the blue marks on the mask. Whenever I do eventually buy, a nice Jason mask, it will be the Part 5 Roy mask. Because Roy is awesome. And I'm going to shamelessly review another Part 5 movie. It's going to be the third Saturday in October, Part 5. Lord M. Seahawk! Not my best for Seahawk. I did better in the movie, the third Saturday in October, Part 5. Available wherever you like to watch movies at. And it's on Shudder right now. But you can buy it on Google. I think it's still available on Apple. It's lots of places. If you like silly horror movies, you might enjoy that one. Or you won't, and you'll be mean like the other people on Reddit. Or, not Reddit. That's a different type of mean people. But, Letterboxd. Sometimes they're nice. Sometimes. But it's fine. I take each review with stride. Because it means somebody watched it. And that's better than nobody. God. And I said I was only going to be reviewing horror movies, but You've Got Mail. Watch You've Got Mail. Or else Jason will get you. this is it on my notes. I've got nothing else here, guys. I mean, I talked about everything I really wanted to talk about. Friday the 13th Part 5, if for some reason you haven't watched it, you really should. And then, You've Got Mail. Whenever I was in Tromaville, I was telling people, it was like, I tell everyone to watch You've Got Mail at least every episode of my show. So here it is again. You've Got Mail. Alright, Bubble Buddies. That was really loud. It is time to drain this bath. Don't forget to wash behind your ears. And enjoy your next 8 to 12 hours. That was Bart, Bart, Bart. Bat, bat, bat. Just like the song. That's probably about to play right now.